Namaskar. Today we'll study the classification of antibiotics. So antibiotics is coming from two words anti and biosis. Anti is against and biosis is life. So these are nothing but the metabolic products of microorganisms used to kill or inhibit the growth of other microorganisms. So they are the products of one microorganism used against another microorganism. So they are called as antibiotics. So they can either kill, that is cidal, or can inhibit the growth, that is static. For example, if it is acting against bacteria, so it can be bactericidal or bacteriostatic. Bactericidal, it will kill the bacteria; bacteriostatic, it will inhibit the growth of the bacteria. So those antibiotics, they are always the products of microorganisms. The synthetic ones can be antibacterial but not antibiotic. So the basic requirement to be called as an antibiotic is it should be a metabolic product of microorganism. The source must be microorganism. If we can synthesize it in the lab, but it is also obtained from the microbial source, then it is also called antibiotic. For example, chloramphenicol, it is produced as a metabolic product of microorganism, and it can also be produced synthetically. So chloramphenicol can be called as an antibiotic. But fluoroquinolones, they are only produced by synthetic method. They are not the metabolic products of microorganisms. So fluoroquinolones are antibacterials but not antibiotics. Now, how to classify the antibiotics? We can classify the antibiotics therapeutic use wise, spectrum wise, source wise, mechanism of action wise, structure wise. In 5 ways we can classify the antibiotics. So therapeutic use wise, they can be used against fungus. So antifungal antibiotics like amphotericin B, nystatin, griseofulvin. There are anti-cancer antibiotics like doxorubicin, daunorubicin, bleomycin, actinomycin D or dactinomycin, mitomycin C. Then we can have antibacterial antibiotics, again antibacterial, antimycobacterial like rifampicin, cycloserine. Some antibiotics effective mainly against gram-positive like penicillin G, cefadroxil, the first generation cephalosporin. Some are effective against both gram-positive and gram-negative, that is tetracycline, doripenem, etc. And there is one enzyme which is the cause of resistance to beta-lactam antibiotics. So beta-lactamase resistant, some antibacterials are resistant to these enzymes. The examples are methicillin, nafcillin, oxacillin, cloxacillin, dicloxacillin. So some beta-lactam antibiotics are degraded by beta-lactamase, and if we take these beta-lactam antibiotics, they are resistant to beta-lactamase. So this is therapeutic wise classification. Then we can have classification based on spectrum of activity. So as we discussed in the therapeutic use wise classification, if it can be used against one organism, then it is called narrow spectrum, and if more than one, it will be intermediate, and if 2, 3, 4 microorganisms can be effectively eradicated by the antibiotic, then they are called as broad spectrum antibiotics. So bacitracin, nystatin, etc. are narrow spectrum antibiotics. Nystatin is antifungal. So amoxicillin, ampicillin, they are intermediate spectrum antibiotics. Chloramphenicol, rifampicin, tetracycline, these are broad spectrum antibiotics. Then we will see the source wise classification. So as we discussed that to be an antibiotic as per the definition, it should be obtained as a metabolic product of microorganisms. So they are natural, and penicillin G or benzyl penicillin, tetracycline, streptomycin, all these are examples of natural source, the antibiotics obtained from natural source. And some after obtaining naturally, there is some synthesis, so they are semi-synthetic. So uh, natural source is obtained, then some steps of synthesis is done, that is semi-synthetic. So penicillin V, phenoxymethyl penicillin, phenoxyethyl penicillin, amoxicillin, these are all semi-synthetic antibiotics. Then some are which can be produced naturally, as well as can be synthesized in the laboratory. So chloramphenicol is the example which can be coming under the classification of synthetic antibiotic. Then based on the mechanism of action, you can refer to our class on bacteria. The targets there can be cell wall, cell membrane, then the ribosomes for protein synthesis, and the nucleic acid. So accordingly, we can have antibiotics classification based on the mechanism of action. So inhibit the biosynthesis of peptidoglycan of bacterial cell wall. Peptidoglycan is the essential component. So the peptidoglycan biosynthesis, you can refer to our class. Then there are in 4 steps antibiotics can act. So inhibit D-alanine cross-linking, cycloserine, inhibit release of building block unit of peptidoglycan, vancomycin, inhibit regeneration of the lipid carrier, bacitracin, inhibit transpeptidase and carboxypeptidase during the final step of peptidoglycan biosynthesis. So example is beta-lactam antibiotics. So these are acting on the bacterial cell wall. Then those which are acting on the cell membrane, so inhibit the functioning of the cytoplasmic membrane or cell membrane. In bacteria, the polymyxin antibiotics, they act. In fungus, in the cytoplasmic membrane, the drugs like amphotericin B, nystatin, they act. Then the ribosomes, the site of protein synthesis. So in bacteria we have 30 subunit and 50 subunit of ribosomes. So we can inhibit 30 subunit of ribosome or 50 subunit of ribosomes. Antibiotics like tetracycline antibiotics, aminoglycoside antibiotics, they inhibit 30 subunit of ribosome. Macrolide antibiotics, lincomycins, chloramphenicol, all these antibiotics inhibit 50 subunit of ribosome. Then finally we can have the 4th group based on mechanism of action, antibiotics which inhibit nucleic acid biosynthesis. So bleomycin is the antibiotic which causes fragmentation of DNA, and it is effective against cancer. Actinomycin D and mitomycin C inhibit DNA polymerase, again effective in cancer. And inhibit DNA dependent RNA polymerase, and if the example is rifampicin, it is effective against Mycobacterium tuberculosis and Mycobacterium leprae. And inhibit mitotic spindle formation during the cell division in fungus, and that is griseofulvin. So these are all about classification of antibiotics based on mechanism of action. Now we can have classification based on structure. So structure, the beta-lactam beta-lactam antibiotics, those having the beta-lactam ring are called beta-lactam antibiotics, and they can be penicillins, cephalosporins, monobactams, and carbapenems. These four groups are coming under beta-lactam antibiotics. So penicillins again can be first generation, second generation, third generation, and fourth generation. Initially they are narrow spectrum, and with generation the spectrum of activity increases. So penicillin G, penicillin V, oxacillin, cloxacillin are the examples of first generation penicillins. Ampicillin, amoxicillin, these are the aminopenicillins, example of second generation. Carboxypenicillins like carbenicillin, propenicillin, ticarcillin, they are the examples of third generation penicillins. Then mezulocillin, azulocillin, piperacillin, uridoxylin, these are examples of fourth generation penicillins. Then penicillinase resistant penicillins, so penicillinase or beta lactamase resistant penicillins are there. Oxacillin, cloxacillin, dicloxacillin, nafcillin, methicillin, these are already we have discussed. Then we can have the second group of beta-lactam antibiotics, that is cephalosporins. Again, they can also be classified into 5 generations. First generation cephadroxil, cephalexin, cephazolin. Second generation cephalosporin, cefuroxim, cefuramide, cefaclor. Third generation cefixim, cefotaxim, ceftriaxone, cefoperazone. Fourth generation cephalosporin, cefepime, cefpirome, cefozopran. And fifth generation cephalosporin, ceftarolin, ceftobiprole. So all these are cephalosporins, the beta-lactam antibiotics. Then the third group is the monobactam, coming under beta-lactam antibiotics, aztreonam, tigemonam, carumonam. Then fourth, carbapenems, imipenem, meropenem, doripenem, ferropenem, ertapenem, rajupenem. So all these four groups, penicillin, cephalosporin, monobactam, and carbapenems are coming under beta-lactam antibiotics. So based on structure, the second group of drugs are aminoglycoside antibiotics like streptomycin, neomycin, kanamycin, gentamicin, paromycin, tobramycin, amikacin, netilmycin, framycetin. Then the third group can be your tetracycline antibiotics, tetracycline, oxytetracycline, 7-chlorotetracycline, rolitetracycline, doxycycline, minocycline. All these are tetracycline antibiotics. Then we have macrolide antibiotics like erythromycin, azithromycin, clarithromycin, roxithromycin. So all these are macrolide antibiotics. So you can remember ATM, A for aminoglycoside, T for tetracycline, and M for macrolide. So you can remember in this way, and this you can remember the beta-lactam antibiotics, PCMB class, PCM physics, chemistry, math, biology class, PCMB class. So you can remember in this way, PCMB class. So penicillin, cephalosporin, monobactam, and carbapenems coming under your beta-lactam antibiotics. Then these three you can remember: ATM, A for aminoglycoside, T for tetracycline, M for macrolide. So ATM you can remember. Then lipopeptide, polypeptide, and glycopeptide antibiotics. And LPG you can remember, LPG. So lipopeptide antibiotics like daptomycin, polypeptide antibiotics like polymyxin, bacitracin, glycopeptide antibiotics like vancomycin, teicoplanin. And then we can have ansamycins or rifamycins like rifampicin, Pauline antibiotics. These are antifungal antibiotics like amphotericin B, nystatin. Then lincosamides like lincomycin, clindamycin, and all others you can group as miscellaneous chloramphenicol, griseofulvin. So this you can remember as APL. So if you want to remember the classification of antibiotics, then you can remember it as your PCMB class. So all these for your B, beta-lactam antibiotics. Then ATM, ATM, then LPG and APL. So in this way, and you can have your own way to remember. So whatever you find in your environment, in your nearby places, you just try to have those letters and you can remember. So this is all about the classification of antibiotics. Thank you.